boldip.com.
Good afternoon out there. Welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. I'm your host, JD Houvener, partnered up with Matt Kulseth over there. Still can't point the right way, Matt. How are you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing, JD? Great to see you.
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. I finally got some air conditioning in this room. I work out of the third car garage. Dude, they got the mini split going. It's so nice.
JD's been a busy guy for those at home. Buying a home and do some renovation work.
Yeah, basically hearing that beeping from an excavator, going backwards for like a week or two straight. So it's like, oh my gosh, all the neighborhood dogs going crazy, so it's been eventful. But finally get to close the garage door and enjoy some nice temperatures.
Nice.
Great. So if anyone out there joining for the first time or watching us, we are attorneys. I'm a patent attorney. Matt is a trademark attorney. And we're with Bold Patents Law Firm. We're publishing here this live broadcast across Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And welcome any live viewers to join in and ask questions. We're not going to give away any legal advice today, unfortunately. Sorry, nothing confidential, nothing attorney-client privileged, but we'll be sharing a lot of legal information and doing some Q&A, hypotheticals, and all that good stuff. And then we'll get to our guest who you've been waiting for. You saw from our subject line, true holograms. So Wally.
True holograms.
Wally with Avalon going to share some.
Like Star Wars holograms.
I took it. It looked amazing. I saw his stuff. I'm not going to give anything away, but yeah, this is as good as it gets level. Are you a hologram guy? Have you done much in that?
No, I haven't played that at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you?
No, although I will say I was in Vegas 2 years ago, and we watched the Michael Jackson one, and there is a hologram of Michael Jackson. It was pretty awesome. So I'm going to ask Wally.
I remember walking past the ads for that.
Okay, yeah, it was fun. It was very fun, but that kind of technology is pretty awesome, and I'm curious about it too because you and I could maybe go be on stage at different events as patent trademark experts, maybe using hologram technology. Pretty fun. So let's get to some Q&A. I don't see any live action Q&A today. First day of school for us. We had our three little cuties lined up.
Nice.
And out the door this morning, first grade, fourth grade, fifth grade.
Wow.
Did you guys already get started?
No, they start next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's gonna be wild though. I mean, yeah. So middle school, and so she's in sixth grade, and the younger one's in fourth grade.
Yeah. Okay. So
right around the same age as yours.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. Good deal. Well, there's our legal notice for anyone out there who flashed it up at least for 1 full second. We have 2 live viewers. So if you have anybody with questions, this is your time to raise them. The first 5 or 10 minutes here, we'll do open Q&A. I have a few questions that came in over the week. We have an enormous backlog that Mia keeps us cracking the whip on us with these questions. So let me see if I can pull up a few here while we're waiting.
Great.
I don't want to dampen the mood too much, but man, I did catch that news clip, Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's awful.
I just saw it this morning.
I feel for everybody out there dealing with that. That is
we've had some weird, terrible shootings lately in Minneapolis the last week, and so this is just the cherry on top. Some kids.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, man, for sure.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully not. You don't have anybody affected, family members or anything like that. Hopefully not. All right, so let's do this. Okay, here we go. Question is, patent destroys my chance to trademark? I like it. I don't know how that would fit together, but let's get the question up.
I'm wondering if they're making a descriptive argument from the patent to the trademark. That would be a really clever examining attorney.
I have coined a term on our patented solution, used for more than 10 years. Strong proof of associated distinctiveness, secondary meaning globally.
Right.
Those are some good key terms. That someone's
those are some $1,000 words right there.
Holy cow! Okay, widely acknowledged. Spelling is correct me in the industry with solid proof that we've used the term. It's not generic at all. He's not defensive.
Yeah. Okay.
So I thought we have a strong case, but when we talked to our legal advisor, he says due to the term being used as a product title in the patent, it will be considered descriptive. Wow, the title, man. He said we can try to go for it, but also strongly suggests it will be rejected. What do you think about that as a patent title?
Interesting.
I
would love to see the patent title and to see the trademark. I think that's the next question. I've never heard of a patent or trademark being rejected by the USPTO because it was cited in a U.S. patent title.
And their own patent. Gosh, how?
Yeah, and obviously, like, they've not applied for this trademark, so the USPTO hasn't done that due diligence or anything like that. But I certainly haven't seen that in my career.
There you go. And you've been doing this for quite a while. So
if
someone came to you with this, what would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I would, if it seems like this attorney knows what they're talking about and they're kind of on the fence about it, then, a couple different options. One is you tell the client, okay, let's go for it. We're rolling the dice here, just so you know that going into it, that, nothing's guaranteed here, right? And then, you might also consider alternative ways to file that trademark. So maybe not just a word mark, maybe do a design mark. If you have a logo that you can associate to it, give it a little more distinctive elements. And then, you might also consider, filing in, a class that isn't so on the nose. So if your invention's for computer, mice or whatever, you might not put yourself in computer hardware, maybe computer software.
Yeah.
Make the argument that it's different. But
it's really solid. Very, very good. Thank you, Matt.
No worries.
I think you nailed it. Let's see here. Let's get this one. It's kind of a timeline question on the patent side. I'm trying to keep this one short and sweet. What's the average time it takes to obtain an international design patent? Good question here. And, I haven't done a lot of work in international design patenting. I think we have another attorney, Houvener, that does a lot. What I can say is I don't know the average time, but I will kind of give you my high-level timeline, is that what you can do is file here in the U.S., for example, a regular U.S. non-provisional design patent application where it has drawings, and the claimed invention is the aesthetic, three-dimensional shape shown through 2D drawings. And that's what you are hopefully going to obtain a patent on. So once it's filed, you can then file what's called a Hague, H-A-G-U-E, Hague Agreement. It's kind of like the sister to the Patent Cooperation Treaty on the utility side. Mm-hmm. And all member countries in the World Intellectual Property Organization will acknowledge that filing as an industrial design. I think they actually call it industrial design. And so what you can do then is you have to then take the next step of applying for design patents in the various countries that you want to have rights in. So this concept of a true international patent does not exist. You have to file and get rights in each jurisdiction you want. So that's the only point I would make. And then timeline-wise, design patents are generally quicker to get to issuance. We're talking in order of a year or less. And so I assume other countries would fall in order. Again, I limited experience on that. So I would say a year versus upwards of 2 years on the utility side.
Yeah. Cool. That's a great answer. It's similar on the trademark side. And I agree. It's probably similar in the sense that clients get and attorneys, who don't know better, get really confused about, well, my client has an international registration number for their trademark.
Okay.
Right? They have an international trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, but it's for like one country, right?
Exactly. Other than the U.S., it was international. Yeah. So
I get that there's a lot of confusion out there, and I don't necessarily think that the WIPO does any service by calling these things international trademarks.
Right. No, it's not the
WIPO registration number would be great.
Yes, absolutely. That's a way better. Yeah, exactly.
So you go look it up, right? As opposed to, people hear international and they kind of freak out. So
I think this one comes up a lot. These are companies that will, let's just call them scam, trademark type companies.
Oh, yeah. They are terrible right now.
So I got a text message from someone at USATM Solutions asking if the trademark with an application I started is still in use. Is there any harm replying here? Or should I be leery of some kind of scam?
Yeah, don't reply to these guys. It's a scam. the USPTO will never reach out to you like that via text message, or really even a phone call. I mean, they will if you have a pending application in front of them and you don't have an attorney of record.
Okay.
They will reach out if you are the designated agent. But for the most part, be leery of any of these correspondence that you receive, not from the United States Patent Trademark Office. So it's a scam, pretty classic scam like my clients get, on a daily basis is someone's trying to register your trademark that you abandoned. Would you like us to renew your trademark or refile it for you and deny this other person?
Yeah.
There's no other person. There's no other group, right?
Yep.
But what happens is it's just a huge time suck for all of us attorneys because, if a client comes to you, JD, and says, I received this text message, what do you have to do? You have to go look it up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna look it up. We'll see what they did.
On the off chance, on the 0.1% chance that something legitimate is happening with their trademark, right? You have to go look it up, even though it's a scam and nothing's actually going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I think that's the best answer, Matt. Just go hire a trademark attorney if you want to make sure it's correct. It is becoming, I think, harder and harder to do it on your own because of things like this. Because of you've got to basically be on defense. You have to really know what's legitimate correspondence, what's not. It's a shame. It is too bad, but it's kind of become necessary. And the Patent Office now is just recently, right? They've come down hard on foreign filed applications, specifically Chinese trademark applications that are truly fraudulent and where there is very little, chance that they were actually properly filed, by an attorney, a U.S.-based attorney, which is required. So more and more, I guess we'll say, eyes are looking at, fraudulent activity around trademarks.
Yeah, and these text messages that folks get and the emails. I mean, I don't know if all this stuff is being powered by AI, but it seems like there's an inordinate increase in the amount of these messages that are going out to our clients.
Yeah.
And gosh, you got to think that there's a way that the United States government can kind of crack down on this.
Yeah.
That's a whole conversation in and of itself, I'm sure, but.
Yeah, no, it is. And Megan and our paralegals are pulling their hair out at a lot of these erroneous USPTO official correspondence that is erroneous and wrong. It's just spitting out information, likely automated. It is just wrong. For example, we have an issued patent, and it's saying, hey, we have an office action on your application. Well, no, we don't.
Are you talking about these third parties that are sending information out?
No, we're receiving from the USPTO just incorrect, wrong information. Lots of it. Kind of sporadic, like just you can see it's like a big repeated, application numbers, whatever it's referencing, just being spit out. So maybe, unfortunately, automation is, good in one sense, but can be not so good in the other.
Keeps me employed for the time being.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have our guest waiting. I want to get to him. You ready to bring him on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. We have Wally. Wally, welcome to our Bold Inventor Show.
Hey, Wally.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Matt. Nice to see you, JD. It's awesome to be on here. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you are not a client of Bold, but you're a Bold inventor. I'd love to hear about your invention story. Walk us through kind of what Avalon is and maybe more about where you're at now.
Besides a mystical island that King Arthur went away to.
Sure. Well, it's funny that you say that because this is actually my second company. I sold my first one to Intel back in 2010. But when I was naming that company, I needed a cool name that started with A. And
why A? For those listening at home, why A?
Well, it's alphabetical, right? It was like I was originally thinking it was going to be a design services company, but turned out to be a product company. And so I live on the Avalon Peninsula of beautiful Newfoundland, Canada, Newfoundland, Labrador. And so I just called it Avalon Microelectronics and sold that one. And the name was lucky. So when I left Intel, I started Avalon Holographics. And we've labored for 10 years. We've got 100 people, 13 PhDs, more than 120 patents and patents pending on this technology. And it's just an incredible holographic display.
That is so cool. Can we show off maybe a website or something to those that are on the video right now?
Yeah, I maybe you have the link, but it's avalonholographics.com if people can put that up. But yeah, what we produce is the world's first tabletop holographic display. We've got some customer trials right now. But it's a tabletop. It's about 3 foot by 3 foot. Hologram pops up about a foot. You can actually see about 3 feet of usable depth. Just gave a demo earlier today on this. And so, yeah, it's kind of think of the Star Wars chess table. That's what you experience when you see it live. Now, what you're seeing the website, it's impossible for me or anyone to show true holography on a 2D screen because just that's the way light works and your eyes perceive objects. But if you were in front of it, you would be able to see hologram. You'd be able to put your hand through it. You can manipulate it. It runs nice and fast, and you can interact with it. It's pretty awesome.
That is, that's impressive.
Thanks.
You've been at this for quite a while. Take us back to the beginnings, the early stages of this. I know a lot of our clients and maybe listeners are there. You are the founder of this technology, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Inventor of some of the initial patents?
Yep. So I've actually been pretty familiar with being an inventor. I think I was the author of 30 or 40 patents with my first company. Designed chips for optical transport and switch networks. And so there was a lot of sort of algorithms, information theory, and chip design that went into that. And so considering that what we produce is very important and probably first in the world technology that I think will eventually be ubiquitous, it's really important for us to protect it. So yes, I'm I don't think I'm the first named inventor other than maybe the first 2 or 3, but I'm a named inventor on I think 10 out of the 120 that we've got. And so like we know that the technology that we produce, it's I kind of think of holography as a really holistic solution. All of it works or none of it does. And so you have to have all these different aspects of semiconductor design, compression, information theory, chip design, optic design. That all has to come together. So yeah, we've just got an incredible team. We've got a full-time patent team actually that does this stuff because it's just so important. We are Canadian-based. U.S. is our filing country, but we protect in Europe, Canada, China, Japan, and Korea right now.
That's awesome. So give us a high level. What does Avalon Holographics do? And looking at 120 patents, what is it that you do that no one else can touch? What is it that you own that's distinctive?
Yeah, and how do you make your money? How do you make money?
Okay, so we do make money by selling our products, but it has taken us this long to get here. Like we're a deep tech company, we're not profitable yet. But what we do is we produce what is called a holographic light field. So the light field sounds similar to a magnetic field, which is a description of all the visible light in a space. So you are in the light field right now. When you open your eyes and you're looking around, light is coming into your eyes. So we produce light the way that light exists within the light field. And the way to think of it as billions and billions of individual light rays that recreate the object. So when you're looking at an object, and I'm just looking at a remote right here, there are many, many light rays coming off of this object for me to perceive it as real. So whenever you're looking around, you are getting vectors, light rays, that are entering your eye. So in order to produce a good hologram, you need literally billions of those. Each of those have to be individually controlling. So you're talking about terabits per second of data. So it's just a fun fact. That tabletop holographic display uses about 5 terabits per second of data, which is 1/3 of the average internet traffic in Canada. So it's just a shocking, horrible technical problem. But that's the kind of design and things that we have to protect. So what we do is we have individual light emission devices that we control through optical constructs and optical pathing. And then each of those goes to chips. And then those chips control hundreds of millions of rays of light. And then we need a bunch of those chips to control the billions of rays of light. And even though this thing is the very first ever, it's by far the best ever. It's the coolest thing ever. It's just the start. Like holographic walls, holographic floors, the Star Trek holodeck, that's all coming. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Wally, tell us more about that, because I have felt like making money on this stuff, because I agree with you that this is an insanely tech-heavy product, right? And realistically, there's probably a very limited set of customers for this product as it exists today. But where's this going?
Yeah, so right now this technology is very expensive. Like, each of these displays is literally millions of dollars, and it's the size of a big TV. So it's like, okay, well, you're not going to have that to watch football in your living room, unless maybe you're Taylor Swift, now engaged to Travis Kelce, watching the fiance on football. But we service markets that have a super high visualization need in medical and defense, and the reason is because the consequence of a bad decision is life-threatening. So they're willing to kind of spend big money in order to have a digital twin of the body, a digital twin of the battle space, and be able to perceive it naturally as if it was real. But as we go further, and the technology goes down, the cost goes down, and the fidelity goes up, you're going to be seeing this in places like Disney. You're going to be seeing places like entertainment centers, but also like hotels, hospitals. It'd just be amazing. And I love to think about the idea of, like, these are real holograms. They come out towards you. You perceive them as real. And so it's just going to be such an amazing experience when you have these large walls and large floors, because everybody around you will be experiencing the same thing. It'll just be incredible.
So is there still a gap in terms of actually appearing real? Like, I'm looking at a water bottle. I mean, I assume there's still a gap in terms of it doesn't look just like a real water bottle, or would I not be able to decipher the difference?
So it's a question of how deep into the technology you end up getting, right? And there's tons of physics around this. So in order to produce enough light that the human brain samples as real, you need something called acuity depth, which is basically billions of rays. And if you can pack them together, you would absolutely perceive it as real. You would not be able to tell the difference between a holographic light field and a real object. Now, the holographic display that we have, even though it's 5 billion rays, you can tell it's a hologram. You can tell that it's made of light. It's incredibly high fidelity. You perceive it as a real object, but you can see that there's some sort of imperfections and vagaries. But as the technology gets better, over time, depending on your distance and the density of the light, there's no way you would perceive it as different.
So would you compare something like this, Wally, in terms of like where you're at like today with the technical progress to like maybe virtual reality a decade ago? Like, mind blowing, but like nothing compared to what it's like today.
Yeah, like I would actually take it a little farther back. The holographic display that is 30 feet away from me is the fourth one ever built, whereas TV's got 70 years to get better. So we're more like black and white cathode ray tube level
TVs, all right.
in terms of capability and the kind of acceleration and kind of fidelity that's going to get better, just because of the way how the technology goes together, how dense it can become, the way to control it. There's a long runway of improvement. So like it's like we made the very first iPhone prototype. Right. And, you're looking at iPhone 1 and 2, right, versus now the iPhone 17 or things like that. It's going to get a lot better, and every step is going to be awesome.
Wow, this is awesome. Thank you. Well, I mean, maybe one more step of geeking out or nerding. I mean, what about interactivity, touching holograms? Is that already here? Are you in that space? Is there, do you see that as part of your next evolution?
Yeah, so the UI and how to interact with holograms is a fun question, because when we produce the hologram, we are producing rays of light. And in the same way that your hands move through the light field now and you don't feel anything, when you put your hand through the hologram, it's a pretty amazing experience, because you think that you've hit something real and you don't, right? Like I've actually had the sensation that if I put my hand in a hologram, my arm will start to go a little bit numb, because my brain thinks, well, I just saw an object, my hand went through it, I can't feel the object, there must be something wrong with my hand because there's nothing wrong with my eyes.
Wow.
So, that's a pretty common reaction. So when it comes to UI, like right now, we can use mouse and keyboard. We use an Xbox controller. We've done some experimentation with the little VR things because there's no haptic or physical feedback with light rays. Now there's other technologies that we can integrate over time that, like haptic gloves, like the little gloves, because all of our objects exist in the digital realm, right? So like there's no physical space. It's a digital representation. So if you have a UI, that also needs to exist in the digital realm. So you just have to combine the physical space of, okay, well, where is the table? Where are my little haptic gloves? Where is my little controller? Physically map that into the digital space, have that digital twin work, and then everything can be in lockstep. Okay.
I like to steer it back toward patents a bit, if you don't mind. So a ton of patents, 120, several, many patent families, I imagine. And you've just now gone to market now?
Yep. Okay,
are you seeing any, I guess I was going to ask, any infringers or any need to enforce patent rights to date?
So no, we're the first in the world that have ever made this, and it's the thing that we're kind of looking at is we're solving problems that no one has ever seen before, and so it's a bit of a land grab because when we encounter a problem or a situation where like, okay, we need to invent something from scratch because this problem has never been seen, then because no one has done it before, it gives us a little bit of leeway in order to solve it the right way. Protect it through, if it's defensible and discoverable, we can do a patent, or we might do a trade secret. If it's something that's a little bit more private, and then we just go from there. So this is an incredibly valuable technology over time, and so we need to make sure that we're well protected, and that's why we do all the patents. But no, we're not worried about someone quite yet. It took us 100 people in 10 years to get to this point. It's going to take someone else at least that long or longer.
I can't buy one of these, bring it home, and recreate it. Just doesn't make
I invite you to try.
Yeah, right. Good luck, Matt.
Give me a couple centuries.
So you mentioned working with defense. I imagine, I know some patent families can get held up with secrecy orders, that type of thing. Are you involved in that? Are you working with the government in that regard?
So there's definitely some things. It's more around the data side that is more sort of secret and protected. Whereas the right way to think of what we do is more like we're just an incredibly fancy TV. So we don't need like a TV isn't sort of protected or ITAR. It's more like what do you see on the TV? What is the data that you need to protect? So we're not sort of subject to any restrictions from a disclosure or invention standpoint from a physical hardware. It's more data integrity, things like that we have to be careful about.
Yeah, right. Probably similarly, but in a different frame under the FDA, right? With HIPAA, privacy on the medical side, showing a potentially realistic human body of an individual, right, has privacy concerns. So you're pushing the barriers there. Are you, speaking of barriers, maybe you can enlighten. So what barriers are yet in front of you? What are the big hurdles that you're going to need to clear, to get where you want to go?
Yeah, there's sort of two major barriers that we're working through our way through right now. I think the first barrier is really technical in nature. No one has ever seen a holographic display. No one understands what the experience is. And so we needed to put all these off-the-shelf technologies together in order to produce a holographic display. But sort of fundamentally from a physics standpoint, the amount of photonic energy necessary to make a hologram is the same for a 3D screen as it is for a 2D. So there's a huge technical sort of leap that we're trying to make by reducing the cost of just using semiconductor process. So the screen that you're looking at me on, the TVs, the materials that go into them, the machines that run on that shape those materials are relatively inexpensive. but you have to come up with a recipe. Sometimes I consider semiconductor like super high precision baking. Like no one in the world has ever made a chocolate cake before. Coming up with the recipe for a chocolate cake is incredibly hard. But as soon as you can make one, you can make 10,000, right? So that's really where we are. We're just trying to make the first chocolate cake. But when we do, it's just going to be incredible, like chocolate cake is. But the second sort of barrier that we have is this is a very sort of visceral human experience technology. There's only 6 of these devices that have ever been built. We've got 4 in customer trials and 2 as demonstration units. So just getting people to see this thing in person, to understand, okay, this is what a holographic light field is. I now can perceive 3D. I can move around it. I can stand on it, or like stand around it and see different aspects of it, put my hand through it, interact with it. It's I'm sure the 3 of us all have different ideas in our mind about, okay, this is a hologram. This is what I can do. This is what I can see. This is what I can perceive. And I can guarantee that, unfortunately, only one of us has actually understood what a hologram is.
Right.
If you saw it live, within 5 to 10 seconds, your body would understand. I get it. I know what a hologram really is. And I was backstage when I heard you talking about the Michael Jackson hologram. Right. So that's not a hologram. That's called Pepper's Ghost. It's a beam splitter. So what happens is there's a transparent screen, like a window, and it's angled at 45 degrees. So it's the same physics application as if you're in your house at night and the lights are on in your house, you can see a reflection of you like a mirror. But when it's daylight, you can't see anything. What is actually happening is the light is hitting the window and reflecting back towards you, but it's kind of dark. So in the daytime, you can't see anything, but at nighttime you can, because there's no light energy from behind. So when you go to that hologram at the Las Vegas show, what's happening is there's a window that's angled, light is being shined up from below the stage, hitting the window and coming out towards you. And so because the background is a little bit dark, the light comes right out. And as soon as they turn the lights on behind the screen, you can't see the hologram anymore. So, but everybody in that entire room is seeing the exact same perspective. They see the exact same flat 2D image. No matter where you're sitting, you don't see what looks like a different person. But as long as you're far enough away, you can't really tell, and you don't know what the person on the other side of the theater is seeing. So it all kind of looks real, but it's just a total trick. It's not
Got it. So I have not seen a hologram. I thought I had, but I have not. I've been tricked. Pepper's Ghost. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more than 100 years old. They've used it in theaters in the 1800s.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, Wally, like, you had to guess where, like, my kids are first going to interact with your products. Am I right in thinking Disney World at some point in the next decade?
Yeah, probably something like a Disney World or a theme park is probably the first sort of consumer level. But a lot of these screens are going to go into like digital twin applications. Like when we think about what AI is doing, AI is an incredible sort of data scraping tool. It's going to take your data and give you sort of insights. And you want to be able to perceive those insights from a human perspective and from a collaborative perspective. So say, for example, you're trying to evaluate a digital twin of an offshore platform or an aircraft turbine or understanding airflow over an engine or something like that. So that'll happen in a lot of sort of like large display centers, boardrooms, things like that, where a bunch of executives and eggheads are getting together to try to understand, okay, this is what's happening in the real world, but from a digital simulation perspective. So there will be absolutely a lot of those, but from a human 6-year-old, I just want to see Darth Vader come out of me. That's going to be like at the Disney park.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I'm sure, just like every other technology, there will be some porn-related application to this that will push the technology even further, I'm sure. Because it all goes back to pornography, unfortunately, when it comes to technology.
Well, it's not a market we accurately go after. Let's just say that.
Correct. Yeah, but someone will at some point.
So what? Let's see. not every day we get to speak with someone like you, by the way, Wally. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. I'd like to end, if you will. I mean, what kind of words of wisdom would you give someone at the beginning stages of starting a company that's going to be technologically based, likely requiring patents? Anything that you'd pass along, lessons learned, things you would have done differently, that type of thing?
So I learned a lot of those lessons at my first company versus this one. I would say the first thing is, especially when it comes to technology, you don't want to be a solution looking for a problem. Like companies exist, products exist, services exist to solve other people's problems. Fall in love with the problem, not the solution. And remember that if you choose to start a company or choose to do this, you're probably going to be at it longer than you think you're going to be at it. So you really got to love the problem in order for you to be able to stick with it.
Can I quote you on this? Is that someone else's quote? I love that.
It is someone else's quote, but I steal good pithy quotes all the time.
That's really, really good. Fantastic. If someone out there would heard your story today and wants to reach out to you, are you open to sharing an email address to follow up with them?
I think the right thing to do would maybe, if they're interested in holography or interested in following the company, they can follow us on our Avalon Holographic socials. And you can always email us at info@avalonholographics.com. And if people find me on LinkedIn and things like that, I'm happy to help the community. We're all on this planet together. Let's try to help each other.
Fantastic. All right. I hope I got that right. info@avalonholographics.com. Good stuff. I guess, are you going to be this year? Are you going to any big events or public launches or announcements? Any PR events you want to give us a little taste or teaser of?
So I would say that we're going to be a lot more public than we have been in the past. Like I'm a nerd by my nature. I've done nothing but build for the last 10 years. So we've really spent all of our money and all of our time just building this thing that the world has never seen. But now the world needs to see.
This is Novak, right? This is what you're calling it, Novak?
Yeah, Novak. That's the table. It literally stands for No Virgins Accommodation Conflict, which is sort of a technical nerd term for the sickness that you feel when you're wearing 3D glasses or VR. So that's called Virgins Accommodation Conflict. So we'll be becoming a lot more sort of public, but the markets that we go after, like I said, are pretty niche, pretty expensive, and so we're probably not going to be at things like CES or your local mall showing the holographic display. But over time, as these things get more ubiquitous, larger, easier to see, easier to set up, that more and more people will see it.
Love it. Well, thanks again, Wally. For Matt, myself, and Bold Patents, wishing you an awesome day, everybody out there. We'll catch you next time. Have a good rest of your day.
Well, thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Go big, go bold. I got a tagline.
Go big, go bold at boldip.com.